Good evening, everyone. We got a full house. Well, almost a full house. There is someone missing, sadly, but we do have an Andy. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm well, despite having done hours of driving today. I'm well.
Been on the road, have you?
On the road.
Yeah. Sadly, Ed's not joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Don't know if he's a bit under the weather or whether or not he's got other plans. Maybe he's got a hot date. You know, Valentine's Day just round the corner. You know, might be a little bit of that. You never know. But we do have someone else. We've got a very special guest star tonight. We've got half of Toy Me, Toy You. We've got Lee. Hello, Lee.
Why, hello there. Toy Me.
Which way around is it? Is it Toy Me, Toy You, or Toy You, Toy Me?
It's Toy Me, Toy You.
Toy Me, Toy You. Yeah, I'm going to have to get that in my head because I think I said it the wrong way around once before. How are you, sir?
Toy Me to you. I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm knackered, to be honest with you.
I'm
absolutely shattered, but no, I'm fine, thank you.
I'm smiling at Lee's choice of shirt there because the way his name's slightly obscuring the start of it.
Yeah. He's done that on purpose.
Here's Lee. Come. Yeah.
I think you joining us has been a long time coming, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. This should have happened.
I've been very much looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, well,
first time onto another channel. It feels weird not having to worry about all. It feels weird looking at all this and not having to worry about the intros and make sure everything's on there. I can just sit back and relax. It's great.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
You do have some quality interlude videos. I recall your interlude videos. Yeah.
I say he does. They do. Both of you, because
yes, they do.
Everyone might remember we've had Dave on before. Dave Nipples. Well, he's the other half of Toy Me, Toy You. So go on then, Lee. It's your first time on here. Most of the audience aren't going to know you or whatnot. So do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and where you're from. What do you do?
Well, I'm known on this lovely platform as Here's Lee, and basically I just prat about with Transformers on the YouTubes and just do silly videos and just enjoy playing with my toys and just showing them off. And every other Sunday I do a little live stream show called Toy Me, Toy You with Dave Nipples, where we talk about toys, show off our latest pickups, and just generally have a good time. How was that?
I think we've got a new watcher in the chat as well. We've got a Toy Overdose.
Yeah, I think he's been in there once or twice before. Hello, Toy Overdose. And obviously hello to everyone else as well. Martin there. We've got Joe. Lee did pop in before he popped out. And Adam's been waiting to watch this since 4:15.
Eager.
Oh, look who it is. Look at it. Speak of the devil. Look at that. Look at that.
Geezer on the bottom there, look.
Toy Me, Dave.
As well. But yeah, you tend to have guests on as well, don't you?
Yeah, we try to have a guest on every week. It's nice to hear other people's opinions on the toys, and it's just nice to have a chat because it's not often we get the chance to talk about this hobby.
No,
as much
I never get that opportunity.
For some people, it's not.
Look, we don't all own a shop. It's life.
Yeah. I think I can unplug that now. Excuse me while I put things away.
For some people, toy collecting isn't just for Christmas. Yes.
Yeah. Get sick of seeing toys, mate. So I set up a hobby of this.
So I work for I don't think I can say the name, but I do work for a company that sells toys. So I go around picking the orders. So it is toys all day. So I do know where you're coming from that. There is a time where you think, no, I can't. And I will shut the door and not come in this room.
So I'm guessing that's an online business then.
Yeah, it's online retail I work for. Like I say, it's just.
Interesting.
So I try my best to make sure you get the decent stuff when the orders, you're not getting damaged packaging.
Marvelous.
I've put some control with the bosses because I might take a little longer than what I need to. But at the end of the day, I know what it's like to be on the other end. So,
So for the benefit of everyone who doesn't know you yet, what is it you collect? As if the T-shirt and the pictures and the cabinets beside you don't give it away.
Well, mainly at the mostly it's Transformers. I have been thinking about going into other things, trying out other stuff, but generally it is Transformers because it's it's cars, robots. What more could you ask for? But I do seem to have this reputation to being the Nemesis Prime collector. I don't know why. Possibly think why.
Because you can't go wrong with.
You can't go wrong with a Black Prime. That's the one.
He likes his primes like he likes his coffee dark.
Ironically, I don't
like
drink
milk
coffee.
in my coffee. I like a milky coffee personally.
I don't like a coffee full stop, so there you go.
No, I reckon I knew I should have wrote down the questions that I was going to ask you, but I never did. I actually caught up on your latest stream today. No, I do. You know yourself because you see me in the chat most of the time. I try and catch you when you're live, but this Sunday we just got back from, as Joe pointed out there. How was the Lake District? Well, actually, we arrived early, but it was. Never mind. But it was a lovely time. It was really, really nice there. The scenery is to die for. And
it's a lovely, lovely piece of the country.
Yeah, I didn't want to come back.
It used to be my childhood place to go with my parents. Like every summer, without fail. Same residence, same the whole shebang. Yeah, I got married there as well. Actually, I didn't work out so well, but yeah.
Okay. That's it. You're on cloud nine in the Lake District. So yeah, I literally just got back around about the time that your stream started on Sunday, so I couldn't watch it live. We were unpacking and whatever else. So I've caught up on it over yesterday and today. Some interesting topics. I quite like the one of regarding spin-offs.
Oh yeah. So it was a funny one really because it's like. These days, with spin-offs comes off out of the wazoo, don't they?
Yes.
And yet you still miss the interesting ones. We still miss interesting ones. Like the one I liked was the Night Beat one with the detective.
That was one of the ones that I quite liked the look of. I liked the sound of that one. It actually made me want to see. It's strange because at first I was like, I really like the idea of it, but then the more I think of it, I'm like, but they're robots. Because the idea of a detective story on Cybertron, I think that's great. But then it made me think, well, we could have this kind of story. We could have a detective series, shorts, I don't know, say 5 or 6 episodes, and then you could do a completely different thing. I don't know, say. So you have a murder mystery. You could also do a romance story, or you could do pick a different genre, and just keep doing all this. But then I was like thinking to myself, but they're robots.
But they're robots.
You could think about that about a lot of the programs, couldn't you?
Well, certainly.
That's certainly about anything.
The thing is, though, even having said that, I would watch it. Definitely.
It could easily be
because was that just like a one issue storyline in the comic with Night Beat? I do vaguely remember reading it once. There was like a Maltese Falcon or something, some sort of parody of that, wasn't it? Quite late on, I
couldn't tell you.
I don't know if you remember about 10 years ago, I think it was. IDW did a load of one-shots.
Yes.
I forget what they called them now. But it were essentially, most of them were stories set back on Cybertron before the war, about whatever it was that bot was doing. And Nightbeat, yes, that was a detective story. You also had one of Blur and his racing days, and it was quite cool. It's quite cool.
I've got that sort of era.
That's what they called them.
Spotlights, yes. I've got some single issues of those somewhere, I think.
Well, that was just it. They were all single issues.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to catch up on the chat here. Everyone's saying hello to one another.
Hello.
Anyway, seems as Lee's introduced himself now.
I need to read Drift again. Actually, it was good.
Yeah, Martin. Because I've just seen his name up there. Andy, would you like to introduce the first segment? The titular segment.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes, this was my idea. Yeah, sorry, brain cells a little bit rusty from driving. So now let's keep it clean, folks, which I know is difficult for us, but let's keep it clean. What is the most love that you have felt as a result of, for example, someone gifting you something toy-wise that you weren't expecting? So I remember when, I think it was LOWBOT, we haven't seen for a little bit. I'm pretty sure that he randomly gave me not one, but 2 missiles for a Gatchman toy that I had, which I must have mentioned in passing at some point I didn't have any missiles for. And he very kindly sourced them from wherever he sourced them and passed them on to Gareth for me to then pick up from the shop. And that sort of little I think it was the blue flying Gatchman. I can't remember which number it was. So, and that was it. It took a sort of large red missile on either side on 2 pods to sort of complete its look, and they're not easy to come by. So I've no idea where he dug them up from, but he very kindly just proffered those to me one day. So it was like, thank you very much. It's little things like that which I think is what the community is so very, very good at. So I just wondering, I was interested to hear from the chat, what the nice things that people have been gifted and so on in the past that they weren't expecting, perhaps. I think you have one of these, Lee, as well, that somebody gave you something that you weren't expecting once as well, that ended up being one of your favorites. I could be misremembering.
No, I don't think so. I can't.
Maybe it was Dave then. I don't know.
It might have been Dave.
Right. Okay. What about?
It's funny that you should mention LOWBOT, because my pick would. I mean, there's lots of occasions certainly to point out. Today you dropped off a load of VHS for me, Andy, which I like the covers on. I'll never watch the VHSs, but I just like the covers, and Andy dropped them all off for me. There's been other occasions like that. Ben, who usually in the chat, Ben Walton, very recently actually, gave me this little squishy Godzilla figurine. Martin, a couple of weeks ago at the same time, that Doctor Who print that I showed last on the last council, framed, and he had a Cosmic Toys one done as well. And it's not to diminish any others, but this one always stands out to me. And it was LOWBOT that sent it up in the post. And I was still I didn't even know these existed. I've had the Marvel ones before of these trump cards, but I've never seen the Doctor Who ones, and I certainly didn't know that they'd ever done them. So when I opened it up, and I realised straight away what it was, even though I didn't know of its existence prior, I was just like, oh, wow. And there is actually a video of me opening it, and the shock that you'll hear in my voice, it's quite audible. It's genuine. It is absolutely genuine. So, yeah, it's got to be that. So I'm sure you'll be watching this back at some point, LOWBOT. Thank you for the 3rd time. What about you then, Lee? Who's had you feeling the love?
Well, not really got anything, but it's more like just the support you get with doing these live streams, like with the YouTube and my channel, and just because at the end of the day, I'm a very awkward person if you ever get to meet me, and sometimes I might come across when I'm on camera. Oh yeah, but it's just like the support that people show. It's amazing, and it just leaves me speechless all the time. Like it's just the simple, oh, I like that video, and like that you get subscribers, or watchers, or likes, and it just shows that I can do this. I enjoy, this thing I enjoy doing.
Oh, TJ,
people are here to support me, and they seem to like me doing it as well. So I'd love to carry on with it.
Yeah, Andy from Transformers, the show, always seems to be quite supportive of you, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Oh, he's definitely one of the big backers from day one. He's always been there.
Been there, hasn't he? Yeah.
He seems to all shows up every episode, even if it's just for a bit. Just see how you doing, lads, and you'll get involved. And he's been on the show a few times. And the support he shows, and everyone else from Transformers to show, it's just amazing.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. It's nice to see them be so supportive as well. Not a toy as such, TJ says. She was gifted an Elf Quest tiny lead figures.
Yes.
And there were tears. Oh, bless. Oh, bless. They're toys. We play games with them.
Indeed. Toy of the game, presumably.
Yeah. And Joe here has said, when are you doing the giveaway again? Well,
you're going to give away again.
He's asking about that, not because he wants to win something, but because he picked this up at some point. And it's the Doctor Who Dalek War DVD box set of The Frontier in Space and Planet of the Daleks. And he gifted them to me. And the thing is, I already have them because, of course, I do. And he said, well, I don't know anyone else I can give them to. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, how about I give them away on the next Cosmic Council episode? So I don't know if I'm going to do a spin the wheel on it. We'll see. If you want it, if you want these, just type Dalek in the comments. Yeah? And we'll see how many people want it. There we go. Dalek. Not Dalek in the comments, just type Dalek. Yeah. As a comment in the live chat there. Hello, Joe. Another Joe. We've got another Joe here.
We have indeed.
We have.
Oh, I remember them Doctor Who DVDs.
What's that?
I used to have a whole wall, all of them on a wall. I used to have all them Doctor Who DVDs.
Are you into a Doctor Who fan?
I used to be quite a Doctor. Not into as much. I don't think I like the newest stuff.
No, I don't.
I kind of stopped when Peter. What's he called now? Peter
Capaldi.
When he stopped.
Okay.
But I used to be master on Doctor Who. I used to have all the DVDs, and I just find when that end episode, it sort of put a little bow on it. It's like, yeah, I can stop now. Yeah. You had the 13 lives that they said they could have, and it's told you why you left Gareth in the first place. That'll do me.
I get you. I dropped off around about the same time.
There's even a very tenuous Transformers-esque link as well.
With Metalhead. No, not. Is it Metalhead? Not Metalhead.
Death Set.
No, is it Metalhead?
Death Set.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Funko have I got to give away, Phil?
Which?
If you mean the IG-12, that's already gone, hasn't it?
Could always come back again. My son didn't want it.
Could well do that.
Not a bloody Funko.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying hello. Dalek already been responded. Derek?
Derek. Yeah. Derek the Dalek.
Well, you've already. You won't want it, will you? You'll get it.
Yeah.
Darley with an R. If I win, someone else can have it. Feel the love.
Well played, Martin. Well played. On theme. Well done.
You feel.
Okay. Like RRR. Okay. Has anyone actually spelt it right yet? No.
Apparently not. Well, that means no one's.
Maybe I'll give it to the first person who spells it right.
I can do that.
Are you going,
Bye,
Sean?
Sean.
Oh, take care,
Ciao.
mate. Take care.
Can't
Didn't
remember
hang
you
around
spelling
once,
now. I
eh?
used to be able to.
There should be a bonus prize where Andy has to do a dance.
I'll do a dance. It just won't be on screen.
Yeah, he might have a little thing for Andy. Oh no, Rom's here. Hello, Rom.
Rum.
I don't know. I can't read his out online. You know, not.
Oh,
loud.
hey, I need a favour if anyone can help. Would anyone be willing to pull my finger, please? I just eaten a pepperoni pizza and have some trapped gases. Plus, I like it when my thing is tugged. There you go. Aren't you glad I read it out?
No.
Don't we all?
Getting any good vibes? Oh, thanks very much. Okay, well, off you top then. But before you do, let's type in here, shall we? Sean. There we are. Not getting good vibes, but it'll try for giveaway. Davros says Phil. I'm sure Phil's already got this, so he won't want to enter. Bless. Plunger in a gear stick. Fair enough. You have a thing for Zelda, you naughty boy. Well, he's just a cute little cat. Of course I do. Sean beat me. Don't worry, it's in. Oh, and I've already got you wrote down. Oh, it's still here. It's still here.
Ah, it's still there. He's just joking.
Okay, fair enough. What other things do we have planned to talk about? There is something to talk about, but I'm going to hold off.
You had something, but you also asked me to think about something as well, if you recall.
Yeah, I'm holding on to that for a little bit.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. I have my reasons, and you all know what they are. I tell you what, we will discuss. This is something that we've discussed the HasLab stuff in the past, haven't we?
What is this? Liokaiser. What's that?
Liokaiser. It's the first, not the first one.
Liokaiser.
It's the latest HasLab.
Liokaiser. I think it's
Liokaiser. I thought it was Liokaiser. Is it Lio?
Ooh. It could be Lio from the I rather than Leo.
Okay, fair enough.
Depends how liony it is, possibly.
I think it's Liokaiser.
Okay, fair enough. Liokaiser then. Which Kaiser? It's. I do have some pictures. I was ready for this one. It's window. That one. Share.
I was going to look for it.
It's
but then
this
I
big boy. Well, actually, I'm a bit disappointed in how small it actually is. For 300 quid.
What? Really?
Yeah, for 300 quid, I expect more than an Action Man size.
That's Action Man size.
It's 12 inches tall. Yeah.
It looks like a
usual
plastic
size of.
It looks like a plastic kit.
It does look very simple, doesn't it?
Is it just me? I don't know. Am I being harsh? I don't know.
What are your thoughts on it, Lee?
I think that's like a computer generated one. Oh, it's I've not really got much of a connection with the character, so I'm not that bothered about getting him. But I've seen a few people who are really into it, looking forward to it, and again, people like self who's just gone, what, 300 for that?
Yeah,
and it's one of those you got to look at down because you're getting 7 figures. You're getting 6 figures.
You're getting 6
so many
figures.
backers. Yeah. But if you get so many backers, they're going to chuck in the 7th one.
Somebody needs to fill in some gaps for me here, please. What team are we looking at?
It was for after G1 finished in the US and the UK, it carried on in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is from the Japanese episodes.
Okay.
But it has appeared.
Victory.
It did appear in the comics.
Victory. No, is it? Well, I can't remember what the show's called now. What is it?
Interestingly, manufactured under license from Tomy Company Limited. What's going on there?
It was Victory. It was Transformers Victory. I mean, I can give you a little bit of a rundown of it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, Leo or Lio, I'm going to go with Liokaiser, is the combined form of the breast force. What's that, sorry?
Oh, you took it away from me. I was just about to do that. You took that away from me. I was just about to say the team is called. We ready for this, Andy? Breast Force.
Yeah.
Really?
Would you not notice in his chest?
That's the look we was waiting for.
Yeah. Right in the centre of his chest
the breast
there,
force
got a
because
little...
each one of them have a little animal.
Yeah.
But it's all right. Asgo's changed it to the chest force now, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So yeah, Liokaiser or Liokaiser is a combined form of the breast force, an elite combat team consisting of land and air assault vehicles who hail from the death zone. He's powerful, cruel, merciless, and unlike pretty much every other combiner, intelligent to boot. This ruthless killing machine is an expert in melee combat and possesses the power of invisibility. Well, with those colours, it don't look very invisible to me.
It's melee combat.
He's fought against Star Saber, Road Caesar, Landcross, and Galaxy Shuttle, promptly beating the stuffing out of each. His emergence swung the war heavily in the favour of the Decepticons until God Jinrai was reborn as Victory Leo. It's possible the only opponents that can contend with him are Victory Saber and Deathsaurus, but that won't stop him trying to take them out. So, yeah.
So they're power masters, but the power is a beast.
And well, it looks essentially like a power master, but in these they're called breast. They have changed that at Hasbro for this particular release because they possibly think it's offensive to some. So it's called Chest Force now.
Yeah.
So instead of them having breasticles, they have chesticles.
Indeed. Mighty Morphin Chesticle power.
So anyway, I'll finish off showing the pictures. There we are.
So they look better in their individual forms than in their combined form. Ironically,
I think that combined form is very basic and lacking.
Yeah, it's just random.
Yeah. I mean, coming from someone who loves Japanese robots, you'd think I'd be all over this. But the design just does nothing for me at all. But yeah, it's to get 10,000 backers, £10,300 in order to see the light of day. But if it manages to get 13,000, then you get an extra bot, which can be an arm or a gun cannon on his shoulder. Yeah.
How many are in this team then? That's a bit excessive.
Well, there's definitely 6. But it's sometimes...
If I remember, I think that one was originally 6, but I think one of them died and got replaced.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
I did do a little bit of homework earlier just because I don't know who these guys are. And it did say that Death Cobra, which is the helicopter there, occasionally forms an alternate left arm or shoulder cannon when the moderately murderous Hellbat doesn't get to him first. So I'm assuming it's usually a race that Hellbat wins.
Okay.
Don't know.
It's good to have spares. You know.
It is.
The thing is, all you have to do is like take out the chest when they're not combined, and you've won basically. Just saying. Hashtag.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I like that this kind of thing happens for those that want it. I'd love to know where they're coming up with the prices, though, because they're even advertising it themselves as 6 Voyager class action figures. Well, Voyager class are what, £35 each? So that's 210. So if it's £210 to buy at normal RRP, why is it 300 quid?
Because you get a prettier, bigger box, Gareth, with all of them in it, probably. Plus,
let's see what the chat are saying. Let's see what the chat are saying. Where did we get to?
I think we're off the current screen.
Martin thinks it looks 6-inch.
Yeah.
Is he still talking about Liokaiser?
I saw that.
Steady.
I saw that. I'm back, says Sean. Rum. Was that a maybe from Gareth? I'll give you a tug, mate. I'll give you a tug. We went for the correct spelling. There we go. Raisins. Would you have a Darth Vader meditation chamber in real life? If I could seal myself off from everyone, yes. I just want to catch up on these comments. It ain't life size. Not too impressed, says Steve. That's what she said. A bit disappointed in its size. HasLab Liokaiser is from Transformers Victory. Who's got inches? Dave's there with breast force. Life-size models of Cosmic Council. No. Yeah. Mend the figure. Has nice breasts, apparently, says Joe. Japanese spell checker didn't work when they typed Beast Force. I did wonder at that, but considering they're all planes or land vehicles, it can't be, can it?
Well, nobody could. It could be because of what they're.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, possibly.
The breast does transform into animals, don't they?
It looks cheap.
Yes,
300 quid certainly ain't cheap. This will get back comfortably. We'll have to have a.
I mean, do we assume it's got knees and elbows? Because it's not doing itself any favors.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, it will. I think it has.
I can sort of see ball joints in the arm, I think.
Right, there it is.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Oh, someone's just got in through the window.
Standby battle station.
Oh, could it
going to happen in the next half hour?
that really ruins that, doesn't it? There we go.
Hey!
Hello.
Hello. I've seen Lee's been causing some bother, so I thought I'd come and sort him out.
Yeah, it needs someone to
Right, Dave, I've got the guard down. Let's take over.
Yes.
You heard the word breast and the nipples just popped in.
That's what it is, isn't it? That's what it is. Go on then. What's your views on this particular piece then, Dave?
Well, I'm a big fan of Transformers Victory, actually. I really enjoyed the show.
I need to try it. I do need to try it.
But I'm not a big fan of the whole HasLab thing in general. The idea of a huge company like Hasbro crowdfunding stuff, I just don't think it's necessary. And so I didn't get the Star Saber. I didn't get the Deathsaurus. There would be no point getting this without those. And I don't actually think it looks that great anyway, if I'm honest.
Fair enough.
But there are people out there that are very excited about it.
Oh, I didn't want to do that.
I'm confused. I thought the Deathsaurus was a Zoid.
Deathsaurus is the villain in Victory.
Okay.
He's
Take care,
the
TJ.
Megatron of the series.
There we are.
Well,
Someone's scared. Someone's scared. We're not turning this into a Transformers show. No. There's going to be some Transformers talk here just because of the guests.
Yeah. It's a thematic
I have
this
non-Transformers.
yeah,
It's fine.
Let's get rid of this screen anyway, so we can get us all on comfortably.
We're back.
They're all the pictures that I had queued up for today anyway. Yeah, so how have you
Anyway.
been doing then, Dave?
I'm all right. Hello, everyone.
Hello. This is a proper mashup, isn't it?
It is.
What happens when the Cosmic Council is taken over by Toy Me, Toy You?
Cosmic to me to you council.
Cosmic Vision.
Mr. B's with us. Hello, Mr. B.
Hello.
And Robert's with us. Now, this is a Transformer guy as well.
Yep.
We'll have the Rubik's one. Which one do you mean?
The transforming one.
This one. I keep picking this up and playing with it. It's a proper fiddle toy, is this one. It really is a proper fiddle toy. Nice, chunky one. I love it.
The thing is, he'd be the worst alt mode ever because everyone would just get frustrated because they couldn't actually Rubik's him and chuck him in the bin constantly. It just frustrates people to death.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that I find a little annoying with him is that he doesn't. That's the only bit at the back there that does the twist. Obviously, because of the articulation, you can't have the twist on any other points. But niggles, tiny little niggles.
How cool would it be if it did?
It's fun. It's fun.
That's what he said.
Yeah, so you think it's going to get back comfortably?
Yeah. Well, none of the previous Transformers HasLabs have had a problem, really.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I do agree.
So at least, well, maybe Unicron was a bit slow off the mark, but that was before they rolled out Hasbro Pulse in various new territories across the world.
But since then. But to take Lee's point, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Because every time this works, they're going to repeat it. Mm-hmm. It's only when it starts to fail that they'll not bother. So it's kind of unfortunate, isn't it, that they're just going to keep on doing it if people don't like it. But if enough people are going to support them, then they'll just keep doing it because, and
that's fine. If people are happy to do it and they get a toy they're happy with, then it's all good. But I'm not going to do it.
This one's going to get back because you've got all the people who's bought Victory Saber and Deathsaurus. So they're gonna want this.
They're gonna want the companion.
They're gonna want this to complete a set that they've probably been after. So it's basically something I like to call hurdle syndrome.
No, I agree with that.
Last hurdle.
There's playing a little bit of devil's advocate though. How many of the people that bought Victory Saber and Deathsaurus were buying them to flip them?
Ooh.
That bumped those numbers up. And because they've not been able to flip them so quickly, won't buy this one.
You mean bots buying bots?
Don't know.
Oh yeah, there is that as well, isn't there?
There is, because you see that with the Star Wars HasLab stuff. They've now slowed down drastically. And I do tend to think it's because people were buying them to flip them and they're getting stuck with them. So they're not going to be buying them all in the future. They're going to be cherry picking.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know if we're at that point yet with the Transformers. I think that they are still selling quite well on the secondary market, aren't they?
The thing is,
I think so.
Wouldn't you have to be American to be able to, I mean this in the nicest possible way, but you would, the sort of size of some of those HasLab products that I've seen, you'd have to have an immense amount of storage space to be able to go anywhere near displaying any sort of, sort of size of them, wouldn't you? Any sort of number of them. You'd have to have an immense space in your house to hold any of them, surely. So,
especially that unicorn.
Yeah.
Well, you need a spare room, that's for sure.
So that unicorn did actually make me actually convince me to downsize collection in many ways.
Oh, Palps is with us. Hello, Palpatine.
He's got a new logo.
He certainly has, yes.
Yes, yeah. Since I've seen him last, anyway.
What is thy bidding?
What is that bidding?
Cosmic Council combined from the Cosmic Rangers, we the Cosmic Megazord, won again the Cosmic Rangers, saved the day again, and everyone's toy collection. Well,
Whew.
okay.
Fair enough.
It's too busy for me, is this chap. Can you all shut up? Also, the main enemy that is the CosmicToyMan. Okay. Hey, I'll have you know it's Labour at the moment that's freezing your granny. Cosmic Rangers versus the toughest foe yet, the Taxman. Oh, thanks. I just paid my tax bill. It wasn't fun. They didn't use any lube this year. We need a HasLab fully armed and operational Death Star. Yes, yeah. Could you imagine?
Without single points of failure, yeah.
Are the Star Wars HasLabs the only ones that have failed?
You had the Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Oh, Cookie
He
Monster.
failed.
Oh,
There was a
Cookie
Cookie
Monster.
They did a
I
Cookie
got the
Monster.
HasLab, but I'm not backing this. The
Bless
design is just a miss for me. Interesting. Shame, but this is a letdown.
Letdown
So
for
did you
me.
get the Death Saurus and the Victory Saber then, Ron? Because that would be interesting because they kind of go together. I think wasn't Liokaiser kind of predicted to be the next HasLab because of the previous two?
It would make logical sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, they'd done the
Done a fire convoy.
2001 Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus. In
They
between.
have, yes, yeah.
So it's got to be somebody. It tends to be Japanese characters that they do.
What on earth?
I think
Right,
the
so
one-
he's pointing out where we're all odd ones out. So Andy's odd out because he's got no display cabinets there. Lee's the only one without glasses, and I'm the only one without a black top.
Okay, and what's
What's
wrong
Dave
with
the only
me?
one about?
I don't know what could Dave's be. He's got
Dave's
the
got the
nicest hair
bingo.
colour by the look of it.
I'm the only one with posable nipples.
There you
Dave's
go.
the only one wearing both headphones and glasses.
He is.
That's
There
true.
we are.
That is
There we are. There we are.
Dave the Combiner. The awesome power of headphones and.
Who's seen Austin Powers? That's a random one. That's a very random one.
Mm.
Right, okay. Fair enough.
Keeping it current.
Dave has been well on the ball for this particular episode. He's
Oh, have
actually
I?
been suggesting topics to discuss about. I'm not talking the chocolate bars
Yeah,
for a change.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
Dave, seeing as this one's on you, would you like to introduce this particular segment?
Yes. So I thought it would be nice if we discussed our favourite desserts. No, that's not it. That's not it.
Coffee pudding.
Crumble and custard.
Oh, Dave.
I thought
Dave,
we
we
Dave.
could maybe have a little discussion about old toys versus new toys,
Okay.
and why you might prefer new toys or why you might prefer old toys, for example. So I know, Andy, you're a bit more of a vintage collector than the rest of us. So why?
Because I like the feels. I like the feels that I get from the old things. And I is old, so I like the old things. Yes. The only time I have recently done a comparison between an old and a new thing, and I came out a little bit sort of in the middle, in the sense that, as I'm sure a lot of the Transformers do, they avoided calling it the obvious thing for obvious reasons, and even the line couldn't be called the line, so they were called the 80s Commanders. They're actually Centurions, and I had a look at one alongside the other, but the thing is, the new one wasn't even the same size as the old one. So they had basically taken the same concept. I did like the fact that they'd done something clever with the helmet. So rather than having a big helmet
Only later, Robert.
they went straight on over the head, the helmet of the character actually was split in two halves and it interlocked around the head. So it was a better sort of mold for the head as a result of doing that. So I thought that was a sort of a clever reinvention, but it didn't have the presence of the original for whatever reason. I don't know, what the particular choice was for that, but maybe they just didn't want to take the risk that it would be more expensive to do it. But as I understand it, they were taking a lot of pre-orders, so they would have known the sort of money they were going to get in when they produced it. So they could have gone a bit larger, possibly, and just tweaked the price. But that was my sort of experience. That's my own experience of directly, consciously going new for old, if you see what I mean. Because the old ones, as much as I like them, also they have a tendency to sort of lose their arms and all that sort of stuff. So from a nostalgia point of view, it inspires nostalgia, but obviously it's not as identical as I might like to the original. So
I think you'll find with most figure lines now, they're going to be going for that 6-inch scale, even if the original figures were much bigger or even much smaller, just because most collectors now, not all, but most, they're collecting multiple lines, so they can actually have Centurions stood beside their Black Star Wars figures, stood beside their Power Rangers, stood beside their Marvel Legends.
And for interplayability, that makes perfect sense, because I did that video a while back where I was sort of saying, what's with all of the random different sizes? And I actually thought it was protective in the sense that it meant that you couldn't put an action figure from one line in the vehicle for the action figures of another line. So that meant you had to buy the vehicles of that action figure line for everything to work together, which made sense from a sales point of view. But obviously, as you say, now that people are displaying these more, it does make more sense for them to be of a certain size, and then they line up better with each other and so on. So it makes perfect sense, really, in this day and age. I think. What does everyone else think?
That's what Andy thinks. What does everyone else think?
What's my thoughts?
Oh, got somebody else here. Vintage toys win hands down. Have that connection to them, a history, as it were, from your childhood. New toys are nice for display and might look better, but no. And I think that's where a lot of people get into collecting toys, is through the nostalgia, which is certainly what I think Lord Malvada is saying here. But I think I'm speaking for you two here, but I'm not so sure with that whether or not it's quite as much nostalgia as it is just like seeing something you like and getting it. Is that more of a thing for you?
Nostalgia is definitely a thing for me.
Right.
I think that's a big part of what got me into collecting. And the main thing I wanted to collect when I started collecting was modern versions of all the 1984 Transformers toys.
Okay, so why did you go down
going back and trying to get the old ones? I went for the modern ones.
Okay.
Partly because they're easier to get,
right,
and probably more affordable, and partly because I actually like them. I like that they've got a bit more articulation to them.
Okay.
So I have an example of a toy that I had when I was a child. This isn't the exact same one. So this is Run Amok. And I got this when I was young as a hand-me-down from a cousin, second-hand. And I absolutely loved just pulling it backwards and watching him pop up. I was a big fan of toy cars in general as a kid, micro machines and all that sort of thing. So when I got this, it was great. And he would pop up and turn into a robot. And not a very convincing one, let's be honest.
No.
But I did pick myself one of these up off eBay a number of years ago now, when I'd started collecting, like say for the feels, for the nostalgia. And then they did an updated version of him. So of course I got him too. This is from Transformers Earthrise. And he's more accurate to his on-screen appearance.
Pretty cool looking, isn't he?
And he has more articulation and he's very cool. So basically I like both. But for different reasons. And like you say, a part of me now is I like to just get things just because they're a good toy as well. So there's a Kickstarter that went up middle of last year, I think, called Brutal Realms, and I pre-ordered one of their figures, and it's an original figure, like a barbarian style figure. So because I'm a fan of He-Man, really, I'm into that sort of thing. But this is a completely original design, and I just thought it looked really cool, so I ordered one. So I'm waiting for that to come out later this year. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, but it's not that I don't buy things for nostalgia. I do have some older items, quite a lot of older Transformers up on the top shelf that you can't see. But I like the modern stuff. I like to pose them up and mess around with them and take photos from time to time and that sort of stuff. So I think you get different things out of them. You know.
No, I agree with that. I was going to ask Lee what he thought, but he's vanished.
He's run off. He's had enough of us.
I mean, the one that I've got a few sort of gathered here just to sort of to chat about, I suppose, really. But I mean, for me, I think arguably the Transformer I was most impressed with at the time when I got it was this chap.
Yeah,
because he is so well articulated, as you say, Dave. You know, I think he would do very well as a modern toy now because he has that articulation that a lot of them lacked. But of course, that's largely because he wasn't actually well, I mean, he was a Transformer, but at the end of the day, you know, he was derived from a completely different show originally, and you know, his alt mode is just brilliant because he's a really convincing, chunky metal jet when he transforms.
Technically, he's more Gobot than he is Transformer. It's Bandai, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's Takatoku, isn't he? I think. Look at that. I was going to say Tokusatsu, but that's something else completely.
That is, yeah, that's something else.
So, you know, for me, that as a robot toy was just like, you know, that was just awesome. Plus all the armor as well. I mean, it was just, you know, and obviously he's had that many iterations, hasn't he, Dave? You know this better than me.
He's had a few.
Yeah. And of course they couldn't keep going with him looking like that either. And the comics didn't. I don't think comics did ever actually, did they? They immediately jumped to the Skyfire mode of what he looked like in the comics and in the cartoon, of course. He appeared in one advert as the original version of him, didn't he? And that was it. And then it was sort of game over after that, I think, because of the issues around Robotech and the like. So, but that I mean, I loved that growing up, and the thing is, I look at other ones because I liked him so much, and I just think, yeah, but they're not the same, you know. And it's like I can't quite get there with them, even though I like the character, you know.
Yeah. Can you? I can't remember with that because obviously it's not just Jetfire, is it? It's a Macross Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, yeah.
Can you? Obviously, you can go plane and you can go Batroid, can't you?
Yes.
Can you do the halfway one with it?
Oh yeah, the dual one.
I thought that's the one. Yeah. I thought so. I wasn't 100% certain because you never really tend to see it in that pose.
No, now are you saying that because there's some controversy around that pose for him? Because I'm sure that Ed once said that's just not a thing when it comes to the Transformers version of him for some reason.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, I don't think it's a controversy, but obviously the toy you can do that with.
I think it's because it puts a bit of strain on it, technically speaking. But okay. I think it is an official transformation mode for him in the instructions. Yeah. So I don't think it's illegal, you know, or anything. But it's just you can do it. It's definitely.
Yeah. Well, sadly, it looks like Lee's having problems with his connectivity. I did think he'd gone a little bit blurry, to be honest with you. Hopefully he can get it fixed and he can join us before we
3-fingered salute, reboot.
I think it's Dave. I think he's seen enough of him.
I've hacked him. I've hacked his Wi-Fi. Got rid of him.
Bless you. Joe's asking, what is the most astounding thing you have ever had in your life? His was getting original Turtles figures. The most astounding thing.
I think I know what he means.
Yeah.
The thing you probably least expected to ever have and then ended up having, I would imagine, would be a way of putting it. So I mean, for me, it would have to be my proper Japanese DX that I never ever imagined that I would have, let alone a boxed version of it. And that was definitely something that I never imagined that I would end up with, because it was always that sort of far distant thing that people sent me pictures of to put on my website. It was never something that I ever sort of, would have vaguely considered actually trying to get, had it not been pure sort of happenstance that Leicester Vintage happened to have one in the country at the time, and I said, please, sir, do you still have it? And that was how I got it. So I didn't have to do a bidding war or anything silly like that for it. I just bought it. So yeah, that was definitely something I never imagined I would end up with. Nor indeed that I expected to trip across a sort of a foot high Ulysses 31 figure that I'd never ever seen before in Doncaster. So that was also a thing, and with everyone else kind of looking
Doncaster. Speaking of Doncaster, this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday. This Sunday, kids.
Hope to see lots of you there.
I won't be there.
I know. It's a bit
too far.
Bit of a journey, isn't it? Yeah.
Get on
Do you think you'll ever make it to the NEC?
Train.
You don't think you'll ever make it to the NEC, Dave? No.
I don't know. I'll never say never.
I like that. Yeah. What about you then, Dave? Most astounding thing you've ever come across?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know if you'll consider this particularly astounding, but I was surprised to get it, and it sort of ties into what you were talking about before I came on. Of people showing the love. This is something that Lee gave me at a convention a couple of years ago, before we started doing Toy Me, Toy You, and it's a Takara My Clone Wreck-Gar. Obviously, he knew I was a Wreck-Gar fan, and he got me this little thing off one of the stands at the event, and just handed it to me and said, "There you go, I got you a little gift." And it's just a fun little thing. So it's kind of become my sort of mascot.
It's rather like this one. I saw this on these on auctions. I have no idea what they were. But it's like a little baby Zoidzilla. And I was just like, why on earth does a vinyl Zoidzilla exist as a thing? That's just. And it's a lot smaller than it looks on the camera. Actually, it's quite it's quite tiny, but it's incredibly detailed. It's even got the little joins that you would expect it to have, where the little plugs are that hold it in place in real life for the big one. It's just insanely detailed. And I think these actually came about as a result of the Zoids cartoons, because even though they don't call it Zoidzilla, they still have the I think it's the Godulus. Zoid is in there as an entity sort of thing, so they still reproduce some of those. And there's like the little shield liger you can get and stuff like that as well off the back of it. So that was a fun little thing just to randomly discover one day that they were a thing, as you sometimes do.
I think he's managed to sort his problems out. He's reached.
Maybe just the Wi-Fi problems.
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Ouch.
We'll see.
Are you all right, Lee?
Bit stressed. It's always the case when you're doing live streams. That's when the internet goes, you know what? I'm not going to work today. Not today.
Of course. Always the way. So I've got a few little G1 entities, which I'm sure that you'll all be familiar with. I just gathered them in case you had more modern versions to line up against them. Because these for me were my little sort of pocket transformers when I was a kid. And of course that was the only a flying Autobot. Whoa! This is Powerglide for those who aren't familiar with Powerglide. And he's an A10 Thunderbolt, kids. Although he's never quite as hard as an A10 Thunderbolt somehow. But I think that is what he's modelled off. So he's a fun little chap.
So do either of you two have the modern version?
I don't.
No.
Not a Powerglide, no.
No. Okay. All right. Let's try. Let's try contender number 2.
He's an 85.
I've got a Brawn.
Brawn. I have been tempted by the Brawns, I must admit, because I did. There's a story in the Transformers UK comic Yeah, there's a story in the Transformers. Snap.
Double brawn.
Shall we swap, Lee?
Triple brawn. There's a story in the UK comics that I always really like, but which people apparently diss, including Furman, which is the one where he goes up against Starscream. Because he's done sort of ostensibly traitorous things and is trying to regain his honor. And I always really liked it because it focused in on a mini-bot, like they did with Windcharger as well when they were up against Auntie with Ravage. So the mini-bots actually got quite a lot of airtime in the comics, even though they were relatively minor toys, which I quite enjoyed. And it also, the thing is, the irony is he still looked like this in the comic. So he didn't have at all anything like a sort of an actual fist until the cartoons. But in the comic, he was early doors. He was still represented with that little sort of hand. What else have I got here? So I've got now he's had a few different reiterations, hasn't he? As well, Cosmos.
I like.
So he actually looks like a proper robot now, doesn't he? When in his toy forms. I don't know if you've got him there or if you're limiting it to the original wave of G1 mini.
No, I don't have him.
You don't have him? Ah, interesting. Because I thought he's selective. He's selective. But I've seen quite a few sort of quite impressive looking Cosmoses out and about. I don't own any of them, but I'm sure Ed probably would have had an example. But and of course I had to pick him back up because he was awesome. He's such a great T-Rex. Anyone got a modern version of him? He's going for something.
Straight in for that leader class.
Oh yes, there he is. Look. So what flavour is that, Lee?
Very nice.
That
is your Studio 86.
Studio series, yeah.
86 leader class Grimlock.
Leader class Grimlock. Okay.
We'll have to have a bit more. Not actually that bad. That's transform.
This one actually surprised me because it's got more points of sort of transformation than I remembered him having. Because his hips kind of come out more than I remembered when I got him, having not had him for ages, obviously.
Yeah, he's got proper childbearing hips.
Yes.
Well, he's a flying saucer, so he's got to make flying cups.
More technical.
Trying to speed transform Grimlock.
It's a contest now.
But the thing is, though, but this is the funny thing, though, isn't it? Because this is one of my bugbears with the modern ones. Is that I'm not an unintelligent human being, I like to think. And can I transform them? Can I act as like? I would need the manual and I would need a magnifying glass to figure out all the teeny tiny moves of the modern ones.
You get used to it. If you've done a lot of them, they tend to kind of reuse similar engineering techniques. So once you've done a few, you start to get into it.
And quite often they're the same toy over and over again, just in different colours anyway.
Well, there's that as well. Hasn't that been the way for years anyway?
Yeah. I do find that quite funny. I've been doing, I already knew this.
These are quite unique, though. They've all got quite sort of unique well, they've got Dinobot forms that are unique. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking in terms of the tails forming the legs and so on, aren't you? Yeah.
No, I'm thinking in terms of G2 Grimlock. Is that, but in different colours?
Mm.
There he is. Look at that. He's done it already. He's done it in like a minute.
It's impressive.
A minute transformation for a leader class.
He's one of the easiest to transform.
Is he? Okay. I've not
practicing for TFUK Con.
Is that right?
Rubik's Cube Transformers. Yeah, oddly enough.
Phil's fear from earlier on, it has become a little bit the Transformers show.
Oh, go on. I'll show you some Bucky O'Hare stuff then. That's
different.
So this is an original Bucky O'Hare figure that I picked up when I was on holiday.
The balance as well.
And so this is great for a bit of nostalgia, but it is a basic figure with very little articulation, and not a great deal of detail and such.
They're quite stylized as well, aren't they, the Playmates figures?
But but I do love him. He's very cool for the nostalgia fields and all of that. I don't have a modern version of him, but I do have Boss Fight Studios Bruiser, so from the same franchise. And yeah, just loads more detail, loads more articulation. If you have seen the original Bruiser toy, it looks pretty gormless. And this definitely looks a lot more like his on-screen appearance. And and great fun to mess around with, and quite heavy. Perhaps one of the heaviest figures I own. Surprisingly hefty.
Someone wake me when the Transformers is over.
So yeah, I think that's the thing. I can have fun with an old figure like this, as basic as it is, and I do have the nostalgia. And if I get the chance to go to a vintage toy shop or a toy fair or something and pick up an old toy, I will. It's just that I don't really find I get the chance to do that all that often.
Okay.
And it's much easier for me to pick up modern toys, realistically. Which is probably the major reason why I get more modern toys than I do older ones. And I don't really like buying stuff on eBay and all that sort of stuff. If I'm going to get something old, I'd like to find it in person and you know, have that excitement of picking it up and going, oh, I want this.
Okay, that's interesting.
I don't mind getting new stuff online, but if I'm going to get older stuff, I'd much prefer to find something in person.
But I mean, I think that makes perfect sense in many respects because A, you save on postage, and you also get to inspect it before you actually commit to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that said, you know, I have, in fairness, always found that actually eBay, for whatever reason, they've always been very straight. So basically, you know, if the bubble is wrecked, they will say the bubble is wrecked, and it's, you know, it's always been as I've expected it, or better actually. So I mean, that Jetfire I actually got from eBay, which is a bit of a punt. You know, it's like, is it actually, you know, have they done anything to the pictures or whatever? But actually, you know, it was in remarkably good shape. So it's just, like I said, would I trip across that in a vintage store? Probably not, because it wouldn't hang around very long, you know. So just tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Early birdies from 8 o'clock, Steve.
Is it from 8? Oh, God.
8.
He's dropping the dog off blinking early. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I might have to ask what they're told.
Are there any vintage toy shops or toy fairs local enough to you, Dave?
Not particularly, no.
No.
We're in a bit of a weird place. And I don't drive, so... Yeah. And because we're in a small town, the connections are always like you'd have to get a train change, get another train change.
Right. Okay.
Got you. Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I've had to do little tours. I've had to literally do road trips to try and just go to a few places. You know,
you need to move.
Come to us, Dave. What about you, Lee? Are there any near you, or is it tricky for you as well?
Well, it's not tricky. It's just when there's not many. It's not many around here, really. Like the last toy fair I went to was the one where I met her. Last one I went to and bought something from you.
Woo!
No, there is one coming up in Beast Wars, maybe. Oh, get that guy up. Oh, that's the one.
That Beast Wars Megatron. Okay.
You know, twice in the last 2 weeks, I have been this close to buying the original version.
I've got one lying around now.
It is a nice figure, that. And there's
close to Gareth shop.
There's a Transformer.
That's the answer, isn't it?
Apparently so.
Manchester.
Hey, I have to say, it was only where I was so tired. It's because sorry.
Yeah, I think you've got a bit of a lag, haven't you?
Yeah, the internet's proper acting up today.
There's definitely a lag going on there. This could be really interesting. Hello, Dave. Another Dave. Another Dave.
All the Daves. The
All the
Daves are
Daves
taking
are in the
over.
house.
Dave.
Phil's milkshake brings all the Daves to the stream. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Cosmic Crusaders on tour.
I have to say though, I was taking my life in my hands. I feel coming through Dewsbury town on a Wednesday afternoon. You know, I was like, it was interesting.
Well, I really feel bad for Lee with his internet playing up like this today. It's first time
shame,
on.
isn't it?
Well,
You're like, to me, to you.
I think he's completely frozen up now.
Yes, I think.
oh, bless.
Oh dear. Poor Lee.
Yeah. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I was just thinking that's probably a good idea. Is that was very much like what? Do you remember when the reviews started coming in for Batman versus Superman, and you got Sad Fleck?
Sad flick.
Bless. I hope he can get it sorted.
How far behind on the chat?
Dial-up went out years ago. Yeah.
Dial-up wouldn't be useful for streaming anyway. It's far too noisy.
Yeah.
I remember them days. and your video screen would be like sort of a postage stamp about this big in the middle of the screen as well.
Could you imagine? You know, someone types in what they're searching for, and my head starts to appear.
Yeah, in a fuzzy, yeah, and then it sort of gradually resolves itself. Yeah.
Don't know if he's got himself sorted. Bless him.
I think he's retrying, isn't he? Bless him.
Well, if he doesn't make it tonight, we'll get him back on again another time. Definitely.
I'm just having a quick scroll through the chat to see.
Yeah, I think I'm actually up to date on it, which is
today.
really unusual for me. Right, okay, so I'm going to say it once more. Joe's given me this to give away. Doctor Who Dalek War. It's got 2 DVD. Well, I think each one's got 2 in it, actually. Yes, it has. We've got The Frontier in Space. We've got Planet of the Daleks. It's 2 John Pertwee stories that follow directly on from one another. And, well, they're both good, but one's brilliant. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning it, just type Dalek in the live chat and I will add your name to the list. And then at the end of this, I'll do a little mini wheel, I think. Mini wheel.
I want to know Dave's toy love story. Share, Dave. Share the story.
Go on, then. Go on.
Well, Dave, give it to us.
Tell us all about it.
It's probably just typing quietly. It's probably a long story.
Yeah. Well, Steve, I've got you down. I've got TJ, Steve, Martin, and Sean. Although Martin has said that if he wins it, I have to give it to someone else.
So
I could just not put you in there. You know.
Zombie, I'll tell you an amusing tale. The first time I ever had a modem and sort of BT Unlimited, I also shared a house with a lady who had an American boyfriend. I played online with Americans. So you can imagine how popular I was, because whenever she wanted to make a call, she wanted me to get off the modem. Well, I was busy mech warring merrily on NetMech, on BT Wireplay. Oh, yes, I'm that old. On a dial-up modem. that I'd fine-tuned the inf file of, because it was 56K, but the copper wires in York couldn't really handle it. So every time she wanted to go out, she had to sort of tell me to get off the phone, basically, which meant I had to drop my internet connection, such as it wasn't, to actually allow her to make this call abroad at exactly the wrong time for me, because I was in the middle of a tournament match. It's like, So count yourselves lucky, young children, that you did not have to deal with this sort of issue anymore, because everyone can now do everything they want at the same time, or just go mobile and not worry about landlines at all. Excellent. And now I've got linking. Now I communicate to the internet using light. Woo! It's all very, very modern. Gareth's hunting for something.
Well, we were doing old versus new, weren't we?
We were.
Oh,
Aye.
he's back. He's back.
Ooh, he's back. Ooh, whoa.
Fiddling with his phone, so we'll wait until he's.
Yeah, he's gone to his backup, but he's gone to his backup internet resource. Like I was just saying.
Clearing his history.
Thumbs up. Go.
He was ready and now he's disappeared. He's back.
Ta-da!
Into a narrow window.
Open the curtains.
Why is it doing that? What's the bloody baddie thing? Usually switched up.
Let him
Pull
out.
up
Let him out.
No, he's
He's
coming
in
to
Australia,
Australia.
folks. He's just immigrated.
Oh, that's just.
That's good.
That's just prime.
That's just prime. Absolutely.
Right. Dave's got his-
Spin around.
So back in 2005, he flew out to Iowa to record a song with Joey Jordison. He'd heard he was one into vintage toys and gifted him a Maximilian from Black Hole. That is a very nice little story. Have you still got it?
Nice story. Wow.
Have you still got Joey's Maximilian?
That must be a Mego. Is it Mego? Mego?
That
Mego.
really is quite good, is that?
It is.
Wowzers. Yeah, it would be Mego. Robert's back. Everyone, Robert's back. We didn't know he'd gone, but he's back.
Excellent.
Is his front here as well?
I will post it will be more than the DVDs are worth. Yeah, true. That's fair.
Can you imagine how much it would have cost me to post you those videos?
Oh, I know. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're doing new versus old. I've missed a decade.
Phil had wire play, bless him.
New versus old internet. Old internet, shit, new internet. So shit.
I think I'm cheating with this one. 60s. 1960s Dalek. And I am cheating because this one's actually a reproduction from the 90s. But it's the same mold. I think the only difference is these would have been black. You know, it does the same thing, okay?
I was gonna say, but what advantage does a modern Dalek have over a vintage Dalek? Do they open up and expose the car lead within?
And I've had people that have done customs of that, and I have one on my shelf downstairs. But no, so that's a 60s design. 10 years later, we got this 70s one by Palitoy, a lot of people's favourite toy company. This one's the talking Dalek. There's no batteries in it, so
it's
no,
very quiet.
Very nice, clean battery compartment, though. I wonder if it's ever had any batteries in it. I might have to try that. So yeah, we've got that. I noticed these have a very squashed head. They seem to have a very tall head.
Yes, they've got a shuttlecock head, basically, haven't they?
Yeah, and then that's got a very squashed head.
The 60s one looks a bit like a shampoo bottle, to be honest.
You say shampoo bottle?
Wait for it.
Oh, here we go.
How about a bubble bath bottle?
Hey, exfoliate.
Now, this,
I'm quite pleased
I
with
want
that.
to say 60s, but I believe it's 70s. And it is still full. Never been used. Not the original. And I tell you what, it's just
That actually is the origin of the Daleks right there. What's
probably
in it is the origin of the Daleks.
It smells like old bubble bath as well. So yeah, I actually love that. I do love that thing. Yeah. So we've done 90s, we've done we've done 60s, 70s, late 80s, and throughout the 90s as well. So that's we're getting a little bit of.
You've gone a bit quiet, Gareth.
Pardon?
You've got a bit quiet. We can hear you, but you're a bit quiet.
I've moved away from the mic.
Possibly.
So yeah, with this was to go. I think these were the first ones that they did in scale with figures. So these were the 3.75-inch Dapol figures. Another British company.
Oh, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah.
And then we've got the more up-to-date ones. I don't have a bronze one to show you. But these are the current ones that they've been bringing out since 2005. And they're the most accurate. It's a Dalek, so when it comes to articulation, the head turns and, you know, they do that.
Yeah.
There's not much else that you can do with a Dalek, is there?
But so have they never actually released one as standard that's got sort of opening panels?
No.
Kind of. No, interesting.
No, the nearest that we got to that was a model kit by Airfix.
Ah, okay.
And you got the Dalek that was all opened up. But they've never actually done a toy of it that I can think of.
No,
Is it Super 7 that they did a version of Optimus Prime and Megatron, I think, that had, like, you could see the inner workings of them?
Yeah, the cyborgs. The super cyborgs. Yeah.
They should do something like that for the Daleks.
Oh, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Yeah. They have done... They've done one out of translucent plastic, but there's nothing inside it. They really need to do one from Colin Baker's story, which it essentially had the mutant inside it, was still part of a human face. And the character talks to his daughter. That's one that they really need to do. And Dave says that yes, he still has it with the one he had from a kid. Excellent. Excellent. Salem. I've no idea what you're referring to, Patrick. Buford's here. Early as always.
Hello.
As ever, right on time.
Lee's on Wireplay.
Nice.
The Beyblade toys, the old ones were fantastic and the new ones are crap. So that's a little bit of old versus new for you.
Mm.
Do you have anything that you want to add to this discussion then, Lee, regarding the old versus new?
First of all, can you actually hear me?
It sounds like you're underwater.
Come a bit nearer.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
No.
Oh,
We can hear you, but
Very muffled.
yeah.
hello?
It's like Leon Stingray.
Stingray.
Well, you've really tried to make this work, haven't you?
Poor Lee.
You have.
Dear.
Steve had this one.
I'll try my best then.
Oh, that's better.
That's better. That's better.
What did you do?
I just went, I'll try my best.
He just cleared his throat.
Yeah.
Right, good.
Hello, Eve. How are you? Haven't seen you for a long while.
This is an old favourite.
Yeah. That's awesome.
The good old
Which version is it? Is it a G1?
That's
It's a reissue,
it's a G1.
but last year they did like a modern version of it. Well, they did actually two modern versions. This is the cheaper generation one.
Yeah.
But you can tell where this got all its roots from. But you can
It's quite funny. When he holds up the new one, the sound's really good. Then when he holds up the old one, the sound's really rubbish.
I just felt like this guy. I'll just show you.
We got most of that. Don't worry.
Oh.
He's in the giant cup. Busy.
Busy.
Never mind. It's still
Technology.
Christmas.
Technology is great when it works.
It goes too quickly, doesn't it? It will be Christmas soon. I'm going to end up knocking Daleks off.
Oh, don't talk to me about Christmas. Got too
Oh.
much to think about before then.
Yeah. Busy.
Does
You
anyone
wanna
have
have
any
a-
pickups?
That's scary. I was literally just about to say that.
Right, well, there we go. See, we heard that.
Yeah. I've got a pickup. I've got some pickups.
Come on, then.
I have to.
Well,
I've got one or two.
I've got quite a rude pickup actually.
Oh,
Let's
hang
start
around
with
for a
that.
Yeah. Bit of a rude hand gesture.
What is it?
Well, you might well ask.
I do.
I've actually forgotten what the flipper's name is, but I got this because it's the evil villain of the Lego Galidor line, and he's blinking.
Oh, you're continuing with that?
No, eBay threw it at me, and I just thought I can't not because it's so random, and he's huge. He's actually really tall. He's like sort of like look, he's tall. Like, that's G1 Brawn. He's like sort of about 3-ish G1 Brawns. I'm like, what were Lego thinking? It's just like it's so random.
G1 brawn as a unit of measurement. Let's keep that going.
Wouldn't it? It's like it's got this huge sort of graspy hand thing going on. I mean, he's got this funky sort of. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a shield or what that's supposed to be on his back there, but it's like it's compatible with Lego Technic effectively, because these little joint points here are like sort of the round connectors for Lego Technic pieces. And it's just like I don't know what they were thinking. It's no wonder it died a death, but I just thought he was quite a striking character in Purple and Black. I've no idea what the backstory is or anything else, and he's got quite a sort of a threatening, sort of masky face on him. So I just thought I got it out of the box when it arrived. I was like, what did I just buy? what is this? It's like
That is very odd, even for you, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. I popped into a certain toy emporium not far from me, and I picked up Locutus of Borg.
Nice.
Just been revisiting Best of Both Worlds, and this is a rather nice version of said Locutus. It has to be said. He's quite hefty. He's quite chunky and big, but I really don't want to take him out of the rather lovely packaging. Not at all. I have no desire to do so whatsoever. It's just really nice. Well, it's just a really nice display piece, isn't it, Gareth? We were saying it's like, if you had and we were saying also, although it's Diamond Select and sort of Art Asylum on the back, according to the stuff in the back there. So they're both mentioned there, but it's very different to the Borg assimilation figures because they're really sort of chunky figures. Because I think they're all sort of like warrior races that got assimilated, whereas of course Picard.
They're designed to look how they appeared in the series. So Locutus is designed to look how he appeared in Best of Both Worlds.
Yeah. And
those Borg assimilation figures are designed to look how they looked in the Voyager episodes. So obviously they'd updated the costumes by then, and they looked a lot better, and in First Contact as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I just like that because I just think it's really nice, and it's one of those for me that's a nostalgia hit because Best of Both Worlds was like such an incredible episode when you watch the two together the first time. It's like, oh my god, how are they going to resolve this kind of thing? And it was when going into the sort of as a sort of a bookend for the third season, fourth season. I think they're amongst the two strongest seasons of Next Gen when it really sort of found its feet in its own voice. So that I thought was just a really nice figure to have. So got that. And by contrast, I also picked up from eBay this rather battered Playmates version of Lakutas for comparison purposes. So it's like, they're worlds apart, obviously, but still, I quite like the fact that they've actually sort of included the little picture of him from the show in the box. So I think that's a nice touch. And he has got accessories as well there, as the Playmates figures tended to have. So again, for this one's bubble is pretty wrecked. So I just thought I will open this one and just have a little look at him, just see what he sort of really looks like. So I have got an opened Picard as well, so I can have a look across the two and just sort of see what they look like together. So yeah, so that was just those two little there's three pickups from me there. Quite random, but there you go.
Dave, I'll let you go next because
Lovely.
mine's pretty boring, to be honest.
All right. I've got a few things. Because I haven't been on this show for a while, I can show some things that I got in the later part of last year. I do have a couple of things that I got just... I do have a couple of bits that I got on Monday, but before then, I picked this up, and I've been playing with it again recently a little bit, and I like it. It's this 2012 Donatello figure from Playmates. And he was one of my rare eBay purchases because, as I say, I don't really like to use eBay a lot.
How do I get onto? Hang on. There we go. That's better. Now I've gone full screen.
He's a lot of fun. He's not super articulated, but he's got enough articulation that you can get him into some nice poses. And I like the colour of green on him. And he's got some nice little details, like a little gold painted ring on his harness and things.
His expression's good. His expression's good as well.
Yeah, and he's got the whited out eyes, which is great. And yeah, and there's nice texture on the skin as well. So he's a really cool little figure. And I think I'm going to go down the route of trying to collect a lot of different Donatellos now. Not a lot, but instead of getting lots of different characters from Ninja Turtles, just trying to focus in on getting Donatello, who is the best turtle.
You have a little bit of an obsession with Donatello, don't you?
I like Donatello. He's my favourite turtle. So there's that. And then for Christmas, I got this, which is a Masterverse Snake Sorceress Teela. And I wanted to get her because in the original mini comics for Masters of the Universe that they packed in with the original toys, there was this green-skinned sorceress character who wasn't Teela in those comics. But this design for Teela in Revelation was basically based on that. So I like that. I've read all the mini comics online, and I like them. They're a bit of fun. And and she comes with this nice staff and this nice effect piece. And this is the first Masterverse figure that I've actually paid full price for. Most of them I've got heavily discounted. But I thought she was interested enough to me that I was willing to pay full price.
So is that a line that fell over a bit then when they released it? If it's heavily discounted, or
I don't know, because they're still churning them out and people seem to like them. But yeah, some of them have just ended up shelf warming and been heavily discounted. So I've managed to get quite a few.
As soon as you held that up, I immediately went to Evil Lyn, because that's about that's the only sort of evil character I can think of that would be witchy in He-Man.
Well, the original Teela toy back in the day was basically Teela, and then she had the snake adornments on her as well.
Oh, right.
So they'd sort of combined the two female characters into one toy because they didn't think there'd be in sufficient market to have two female toys. It's basically. So yeah.
You still sound very quiet, Gareth.
I do.
A little bit. You're not as clear as you were earlier on.
And then we'll do my recent pickups. At the risk of making this a Transformers show, I did get a Transformer. So this is Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. And he's cute. And I've been umming and ahhing over him for a little while because I already have a previous release of Bumblebee up here, which is very nice. And this one has a much less accurate alt mode, really. That has a proper licensed VW alt mode. But this has a nice bright yellow colour and a nicer face. So I've got both.
I was trying to think what he looked like in the movie actually when you were showing that, because I was trying to think, was he still the Volkswagen mode then, or had he gone more gold buggy? He hadn't gone gold buggy, had he, for the movie? So yeah.
So yeah, that's a pretty nice figure. But yeah, the alt mode is kind of much more angular and a bit off, but it has got kind of the cutesy deformed car proportions, more like the G1 toys, which is nice. So it's still a fun alt mode. It just doesn't really look like his alt mode. So that's it. And I found that in Smith's Toys, and whilst I was there, I had a little rummage in their bargain bin, and for £5, I got this. It's a Dragon Ball thing.
Yeah, you can't go wrong for a £5.
Yeah, this is Dragon Stars Go Tanks. And I had a little look. Apparently, this was when two characters combined. They did a dance and combined into one character.
Fusion dance.
Temporarily.
They do that from time to time, as I recall. Yeah. Yes. Fusion, I think.
I don't really know anything about Dragon Ball, but I just saw this for a £5 and thought it looked fun.
They're little balls. They've got stars on them. And
yeah. I know Lee's a Dragon Ball fan.
Like a bit of Dragon Ball. You can't go wrong with a bit of Dragon Ball.
Never seen it.
Never seen any of it.
Never seen a single episode.
I saw it the one time that I actually had Sky coming to my household, and I saw it on Toonami back in must have been early 2000s, I think.
Is that everything, Dave, or is there any more?
That's it.
That's it. Well, Lee can have a go. While he's got a little bit of connectivity.
We'll have to actually count what we actually doing.
Pickups.
Pickups. Yeah. Pickups. Oh, I got this in the post. I got this in the post yesterday. It's not a toy, but my wife bought it me, and I thought it was pretty cool. It's nice little
mouse mat.
Oh, is it like a mat?
I guess it's a rather large mouse mat.
I've had some large mouse mats, I'll have you know.
It's like a rat.
How it went about was I am after a mouse mat. Because like my main deck, it's one of those, it's like a glass sort of thing to go with all the units. So as you can imagine, a mouse doesn't really work on glass. Cool. Yeah. So I mentioned it to her, and at the next minute she's on this. I can't remember what is it called, Chewy or something? All those cheap sites. Tiamat, that's the one, and she'll.
I was going to say that's your friend for a large mouse mat on the cheap.
Well, no, they got some mats here. I don't think it's a mouse mat, but I went, I'll have that. Oh, it's one of those. Oh, we get you for free. You don't get it for free. Next minute, she's spending 25 quid on all that shit. But who like to judge? But that's like the thing I've got this week. What have I got? What have I picked up recently? I've got these on loan. I've been messing around with it, taking pictures. Big chunky T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
That's cool.
So I've been
vicious.
Considering when I saw it, I thought it looks the same size as the Leader Class Megatron. It's a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's
a hell of a lot bigger. But I just thought, I'll pick these up so I could take some pictures with like the Jurassic Park crossovers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's been a lot of fun. And it's made me like earlier today I've been working on my new setup for taking pictures. So I suppose I can show you that off. I suppose that technically is a pickup. Go on a magical show.
He's picking up his phone to show us a pickup. Ha! Double whammy.
He's working on my new setup.
Wow, that's the proper setup. gosh.
So looking forward to playing in that.
I just have one small question. Why do you have a dumb waiter in the middle of your collecting room?
Well, what?
A dumb waiter is that's a very archaic term for a way in which food and items used to be transported through a house on a small elevator device, and it looks like one of them.
It's actually just where the boiler is, because it's just an empty space.
It's probably not dissimilar to what I've got over here, actually.
So I just thought, well, it's I can't store toys in there because of the heat. So I thought,
it might be all right.
moving
cameras about.
Oh yeah.
I can't. It's my math.
I usually can't, but my internet stopped working, so
yeah,
he's got an excuse.
We'll let you off. We'll let you off.
That's pretty much it for pickups. I'm being a good boy at the moment. Okay. He says buying new lights.
Lee, I showed some stuff from last year.
Oh, you should. Oh, right, well.
Yeah,
let's get going then.
You haven't been on here. Go for it.
Welcome to Transformers Show, everybody.
Yeah, I'm thinking, oh, well, Toy Beat, are you? Just actually seatbelt. Well, this is something I picked up last year.
Show us, if you can get to it, your favourite piece from your collection.
Oh, don't make me pick.
If you can get to it.
It needs a minute.
It needs a minute.
This is going to take a moment, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. If there were a fire.
There is a fire now. Go.
Red alert! Red alert!
This is definitely on top on high on my list, and you'll see why in a minute. There's a hint.
Oh,
shiny!
It's another Black Prime.
It is.
There's the guy himself.
It's got to be.
Just. Actually, I think this is the Toyota one, the Japanese one.
Nice.
The little black convoy, which for it's a repaint of the G2 Laser Prime, and the articulation for it is definitely can stand up to days for its age. Chances on truck mode. Bear with me, people.
He's doing one of those magic speed
He's
transformations again.
That, and he was doing it one-handed. Yeah.
Now the thing is, was it 2 weeks ago? A week ago? I was actually watching a live stream that Lee was doing where he was playing with himself.
Hey! That's a target as well.
There he is. Look. Wow.
Yeah, I just got bored one day and I thought I'll get the camera going and see that anyone gets going. Have they
ever done a transformer of kit?
Yes.
Recently.
Very recently.
I thought they had.
He's off again.
Very recently.
That reminded me of Goliath.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
My stock still hasn't arrived. I don't suppose it's coming tomorrow, is it?
It does the talking and all the lights. It's fucking magic.
And it has a nice package too.
I can't
imagine.
Wow.
Hey! No Transformers.
More chance. This is a good classic when you think of third party. Good old Shadow Commander.
Wow, it's got chunky forearms. Look at that.
So it was an add-on kit. It's the original one was an add-on kit for the classic Optimus Prime to make him look more like Ultra Magnus.
I was gonna say it's giving me Ultra Magnus vibes, definitely. Yeah, it's that bulk to it. Yeah.
So when they did the classic Prime, they just did the white repaint. So the third party fan projects, they did the trails going. I think that's pretty much what put third party on the map, in my opinion, anyway.
Cool. I've done a rejig.
You did, yeah?
For the non-Transformers fans, here is a Toadborg.
I've got non-transforming shit as well.
Steve thought something was nice. Carry on, Cosmic Council. Did Sid James and Charles Hawtrey, yeah. I love this.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, we missed you too.
I got that.
Got that, says Phil. What's he got?
I think one of the Nemesis Prime doodars.
Ah.
I think.
Or maybe the Knight Rider. Maybe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so I suppose I better show you what I got then, haven't I?
Go on then. Let's do the Who's Myth Report. What's my complex?
Why right? Show some stuff as well.
Show what?
I said, why you right? Show some of your toys as well.
Yeah. Technically the toys, because you do play with them, although I don't. This is all that I've had in. All that's come. My latest subscription to Combat Patrol from the Warhammer thing. So, issue 23. It's a lot of hell there. And issue 24 is even more Eldar.
Even more Eldar.
And issue 25.
Gosh, that's a lot of Eldar. No?
Is paints and a brush. Because I really need paints and a brush.
Is that for your Eldar?
Will you be making these, Gareth?
And apparently, I needed more Eldar.
Yet more Eldar. Gosh.
And I'm guessing this one's a special. It's just a page and one Space Marine. Apparently, he's the Primaris Company champion. Yeah.
What about Matt?
I've now got.
Does it come with a mouse mat?
No. It did come with the first binder, though, for the magazines.
Nice.
I remember getting things like that when I was young.
Yeah.
All the silly magazines that you'd go and subscribe to at your local newsagents.
I used to get Take Off magazine. That was my one that I got.
Now, I did.
I'm a bit worried that he said the first binder.
First binder, yes.
Of many.
Of many.
Yeah.
Many binders.
Well, we're up to volume 26, issue 26. There's probably going to be over 100, isn't there?
Featuring even more Eldar.
200.
Once you get the binder, you're in deep. That's it.
Yeah. Balls deep. Yeah, I was doing quite well. I was building them up as they arrived. And I'm now
25 issues behind.
14 issues behind. So up to then...
Eldar would do that to you.
Yeah.
What are you doing streaming on the internet, Gareth? You've got stuff to do.
Yeah, I have got stuff to do.
That's so Steve.
As you know, we went to the lakes on holiday for 4 nights, 5 days. I actually took a load with me to paint. Oh, yeah.
And Gareth's popularity rating with the family promptly plummeted. Dear. Funny.
Yes, I have seen the Dalek one, and no way am I going for that. Have you seen the price of it? I think it works out at something like 1,100 quid. I didn't pay that for my full size one. I'm not paying that for a 3 foot tall one. Hey, no way. No way.
Yeah, well, think of the binder.
I'd want a living car lid built into it for that price.
Yeah, I've the last batch also came with the cup because you get a coffee mug with it.
Oh.
And I actually started using that today. It was still at the shop, and I needed a cup because I'd thrown my old one away. I realised it had been gifted to me by a certain someone, so it went in the bin. That's what I think of certain gifts. So, who's going to have this then? Speaking of, we've got TJ, Steve, Martin, and Sean. Let's get
time for a mini spin.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be much of one, is it?
That's why it's a mini one.
Wheel of Names.
Just a brief spin.
Yes.
TJ, Steve, Martin, and Sean. Dave, do you want to stick it on the wheel? Do you want your name on the wheel?
Go on, put my name on the wheel.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Dave. Lee, do you want your name on the wheel?
I go on then.
Lee. Andy, do you want your name on the wheel?
Nah, I got one last time. It's fine.
I don't really want to win it. I just want to see what happens.
Morbid fascination is
Yeah.
the reason for the wheel entry.
Let's have a look.
Just want to be a part of the wheel.
Present, share screen, Wheel of Names, share. There we go. That'll do, won't it? I think we can see everything quite well. Look at the giant TJ. Have we to go for it?
Spin that wheel!
Spin the wheel. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. Let's see Dave now. All right, then spin the wheel. Here we go. First one. Spin the lead.
Well played, Lee. Well played.
He's going to fall over in a minute.
Yeah.
TJ
Badly.
isn't having it.
I just spotted two very dodgy looking auctions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Same picture, different sellers.
Oh, wow. Very interesting.
Oh.
Dave, you're not having it?
Oh, shit.
Creepy nipples all around.
He's just been exterminated.
Hey.
You're terminated.
Ooh, that's cool. Ron, you're not having it. Martin's not having it, but he didn't want it anyway, did he? So it's down to Lee, who we know is a Doctor Who fan, or Steve, the first person to put his name in the hat.
There can be only one.
It's going to put me in a very awkward situation now, isn't it?
Oh, goodness, that's close. Oh. Steve! You've won it!
Oh, that's such a
blind,
shame.
Yeah, I didn't know it anyway.
Lee needed the DVD. He can't stream anything.
Ouch.
But, yeah, it'd have been a nice consolation prize for having a bit of a dodgy connection tonight, wouldn't it?
Nah, but I've still had a good time tonight.
What's people said? What's people said?
He's had a bit of a spin. He's been all right.
One. Bloody hell, that's two more.
We've got green. I feel like I've got green.
The tension. Crap, forget mine, eh? Would you have wanted it? You didn't type Dalek anyway. Bloody hell, I've won something.
Congratulations, Steve.
I've just given me a big bag of Doctor Who DVD. Well, you've probably already got it then. Well done. There you are. Well, if you're coming to Doncaster on Sunday, I'll bring it with me and just hand it over there. There's no chance of it getting lost in the post, then, is there? And it saved me £3 or £4. That's the bit I'm bothered about, if I'm honest. Someone's done a nice gesture of giving it away, and I end up having to pay to send it.
Hey, if you can save that £3, you could buy a packet of scones.
I agree with you, but so many other people are sat at home shouting, "It scones!" at the screen.
I was just thinking,
all right, we can. One a penny or two a penny. Oh!
There we are. Well, I think it's been a decent little stream, apart from Lee's poor connectivity issues. We'll have to get him back on again sometime.
You need to get the hamsters pedaling faster, Lee.
I know. I'll have to get the daughter to crank it faster. I'll show her.
It's not because the wife's on Timu, is it?
Yes, it is. I think a couple of weeks ago, she went, "Oh, Sky's giving us a faster. I've ordered faster broadband on Sky." All right, everything she's got, it's just not working properly. You great that.
Are you fancying Doncaster on Sunday, Lee?
I'm away this weekend. I'm off to a bit of alone time with the family.
Because it looks like everyone's arranging to meet up. Go on, say it, Dave.
Say what?
That they should arrange to meet up at Premier Inn the night before.
Ah, I didn't even think of that.
Did you not? Was that finally
gone? Yeah.
Well, you've reminded us now, Gareth. What you did that for?
It's miles away anyway. Is that? Oh no, where was that? Where was I when I went that? I can't remember where I was now. Was that Doncaster? Yeah.
Is the Premier Inn miles away from the racecourse?
I'm trying to think what happened last time. Where was I with that? That was it was a trek. I think I actually had to drive in the end. I think I had to drive from the inn to get to the race course. I think is what I did.
Oh, okay. It's quite a big city, to be fair, is Doncaster, isn't it?
I've never really actually explored the city. I've only ever gone direct. So
yeah, I think I think same for me, to be honest. Yeah. Oh well. But next time we have a Cosmic Council, we'll probably be using a different software service. So if there's any teething problems next time, please bear with us. We'll see how it goes.
And if you have any recommendations for one, possibly.
Yeah, there's one that I'm looking into. I think I'm probably going to be signing up to it. What's it called again? VMux or something it's called. What is it?
VMux or something. That's an interesting name. It's
It's Yorkshire based, obviously.
Oh, aye, that it is, lad. That it is. Streaming software. No, I've lost it now. It's gone.
Might be using that one.
No, apparently not.
Promising.
It's the one that's getting the most recommendations at the moment for, sort of like all round functionality.
Join us in 2 weeks for a blank screen.
Yeah, could well be. History. Let's have a look. Should I be searching my history?
All we have to do is use the built-in YouTube streaming and ask everyone to open 4 windows simultaneously so they can watch each of us individually at the same time.
EV Mux, that's it. EV Mux.
Oh, EV Mux, right.
Yeah. And they're obviously very active as well because they were being recommended by a particular channel. Well, they've been recommended by quite a few, but they're actually going into the comments and thanking people for recommending them.
Oh. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's a fascinating. I mean, clearly StreamYard have assumed that lethargy will allow them to profit from this sort of uplift, whereas in fact they might just encourage competitors into the market by undercutting them viciously. So, it swings around about, doesn't it?
Cold. How are you doing? It's just coming to an end now, is my day. How about yours? You were in earlier, anyway.
I need a cup of tea.
Milford has to cross them there hills. And Steve lives there. He lives in Doncaster. Yeah. And yet he only made it to the last one for the first time. How weird is that? I
still missed him.
Still missed him, yeah. We need to have a cosmic meetup. Yeah. Just not round my stall. I'd like customers to be able to get to it and buy stuff.
We're customers. We count.
This is where I normally come into. It is, isn't it? You normally turn up at the end. You've been here since the beginning this time. Thank you. Right, okay, well, Dave, where can people find you and what have you got to offer?
Interesting way of phrasing that. You can find me on YouTube as Dave Nipples if you want to. And I occasionally do my own videos. But you can, of course, also find me over on Lee's channel, Here's Lee, every 2 weeks for Toy Me, Toy You. I'm also on Instagram as Dave Nipples, and I occasionally do random photos of my toys. And also recently joined Blue Sky as well as Dave Nipples.
Really?
So you can find me on there if you're so inclined.
Cool. Lee, would you like to tell everyone where they can find you and Dave when he feels like it?
Well, you can find me here on YouTube at Here's Lee. I think it's all one word. Might be, might not be. Occasionally I'll do Transformer videos. I might do other toys now and again. But every other Sunday we do a live stream very similar to this called Toy Me, Toy You. And also you can, recently I've just started my own Blue Sky as well. So maybe pop over there and see what I'm working on here. I've got my new light box, so hopefully I'm going to be doing some few pictures for everyone.
Can you two do anything independent of each other?
Yeah, they like run about and run amok. They can't be seen without the other.
Let's see what you
he's
do.
He's my aunt to his deck. He's. I've forgotten all, but he's kind of.
He's got out mode then. That would be more.
Okay, Ant and Deck. I can go with that one. Ant and Deck, yeah. Andy.
No, my Paul. He's Barry, even.
Fair enough. Andy, have you got anything coming up?
Yeah, I've got. Do you remember I did that Kingsford starship that was a mix between a Viper and an X-wing? I've got the white version of it now to show you on Thursday.
Oh, right, okay, interesting.
In fact, it is an Italian version of the white one. I don't know what accent that is, but it was supposed to be sort of, foreign and interesting like. But yeah, I've got one of those to show you. So there's that, yeah. Fighter 1, it's called.
Fighter
1.
Fighter 1.
Fighter 1. That's what it's called.
I like that. Thanks for the stream, guys. And I'll be at Doncaster this Sunday early.
Might see people there. He might not.
Well, if he opens his eyes, he likely will. Nipply,
Nipply.
Nipply, that's it. When you put you both together,
That's
it's
the one.
nipply. I like that.
Nipply.
Oh, of course you're welcome. Of course you're welcome. And I've been wondering about you because you've not been about, and certain events have happened. You have been on my mind, but I had no way of getting in touch. I hope you're okay. And me, I don't have. Ooh. I said I don't have anything. I was going to say I don't have anything filmed. I do, but I've got nothing edited, so there's no videos ready to go out. So it's likely going to be the regular "What's New at Cosmic Toys" that goes out next Tuesday that you'll see from me next.
I've got Trek Toys on Monday as well, continuing that particular series. But I'm going to go little teeny tiny Star Trek toys.
Oh, cool! Ooh, very cool, very cool. I've got things in the pipeline, I will say.
Mysterious.
Yes. I've got things in the pipeline. So, and I'm putting more effort into it than what it's worth. That's certainly more than what the views will show, but that's me. Well, hello, Chris from many years ago. But you're always welcome over here, Eve. You certainly are. Right then. Thank you for watching, everyone. We're going to piddle off now because I'm getting a bit parched. And it's time for supper before bed. So, nighty-night all.
Bye.
Night.
Sorry,
Night.
me.